Hello everybody, welcome to a Let's Build for the Lasersight 2! This is a super Bdaman accessory for the plug-in system, so super excited to sit down and start building this guy up. Basically all it is a nice little laser pointer and it shoots out the marble. I would do the whole unboxing, but all the pieces are already out on the table, because this is my second attempt trying to make this video. Just because when I first opened it up, everything on the inside was corroded. This was sealed and everything, but I took it out, so fun for me. The batteries are still inside the laser, so if anyone does get this sealed, sorry about that. It's just corroded on the inside. You'll have some fun building it all up. But here's the accessory on the side. Get more about the accessory. It's supposed to be a nice little laser pointer. And then here it is with links here, which I do not have links or any of the rest of the accessories that go with this, so I can't sadly show off that. But in this example, they showed off being used as a barrel, which is super cool. I think I do have a Bdaman that I can actually use this with, so I'm going to be attaching it like that, so we'll see that whole thing in a minute. It is P55, and of course the Bdaman they use as the front cover example is Mr. Phoenix there, and we don't have a way to plug it in as a barrel, because I found out that this whole set is just a giant pain in the butt. Seriously, this is like the weirdest set in the world. Like, I thought it came with a plug-in accessory. No, it does not. It does come with one piece of paper that explains which direction you're wanting to do this whole, barrel connection in. Another piece of paper that explains how to build it up and everything, which pretty much just shows, the whole, mechanism and stuff like that, which that was cool in a way. We'll be building it up in this video. And yeah, there is batteries already inside this thing when you get it, and those were super corroded. I had to clean the screws corroded. So, have fun with that if y'all get this new. Sorry, it's been a very long process with this fixing this thing. I have the laser right here, and pretty much I had to, take it apart. These little two pieces right here, they pop off. And, of course, you have the little lenser there, which, intensifies the light or whatever. And then we got the one build right here. And you can take this apart and, mess around with it or whatever. There's just batteries and metal contacts in there. If you're wanting a good way to clean the metal contacts, oh, well, I guess before I do this. Also, by the way, this switch for this thing is really bad. And so there's the little mechanism or little switch piece there. And then if we open this bad boy up, which is very interesting, here's the mechanism on the inside. So all this is, you just press this down, and see if it lets me do it the proper way. See, it might not do it because it doesn't have the other half connected to it right now. See, can I get this to work? Okay, maybe, see. See if it's gonna let me. Nope, okay, it's great. You do actually need the other half on it to actually get it to work. But yeah, so basically, these are new batteries that they take, what is it, LR44s. So you basically just need some of those batteries, which are very common. I know in certain stores they're called 375s, or 357. It's like a battery that goes by multiple names. It's a very pain in the butt thing to know, but there you go for anyone who is curious. And then this whole mechanism right here was super, super corroded. I had to take apart this whole entire thing to get it working again. So these metal ones right here, I had to pop them out. And with the laser diode, I had to sit there and hold it above white vinegar, because you can't get the whole thing wet. You just have to hold the little metal tips for it so they decorrode or whatever. Whole bunch of fun. It was a pain in the butt building this thing. But once you plop it all in together, you see the light already shining through. It is very much a pain with this whole mechanism. I might have messed up trying to assemble it properly, but you can just smack it in a way and it'll become detached, and then you can turn it back on and off again. I'll probably take out the batteries in this thing. The laser is not the greatest. Yeah, there we go. You have to give it some good smacks. The switch mechanism is not that great for this. Besides that whole fun there, you do get a lens in this whole thing here, which you can see that just concentrates the laser a bit more. There's a lens inside this one, which concentrates it even more. And then you start getting to the actual pieces of it. So we got the 2 little gun barrel pieces here. Or just barrel, I guess I should say. And then you get a little tray filled with a bunch of other pieces. So we're going to sit down. I'm going to cut out all these pieces real quickly. And deal with all the fun there. We also have the screws that go inside the little battery compartment area. Which I don't know if I'm going to put back in just yet. But I had to clean these like desperately. Like if you look at them, they've been through a lot of cleaning. You can see where originally like a lot of the corrosive stuff was at and stuff like that. So yeah, this has been a fun thing to do. If anyone's curious on how I cleaned this, I poured a little bit of white vinegar in a cup and just threw pieces in there. That is literally all you have to do to get rid of corrosive material. For the LED, I actually had to sit down. You can either use rubbing alcohol to like wipe off corrosion, or you can just sit down and hold the little LED by the bulb and just hold it towards the thing. That's what I did. So it was like a 5-minute process to just sit down and just hold that or whatever. But the mechanism is now fully working, so let's get on to the build process. We'll be back in just a second after I'm done snipping out all these wonderful parts here. So, we'll be back! Hello everyone, welcome back to me trimming this up. This is like the miniest time I've tried recording this video. This thing is not a fun... This whole thing is not fun to build. It is very much not. So you want to take these 2 little yellow pieces here. You want to slam them together. And basically the whole concept is this weird thing is supposed to like move it up and down. In my experience of building this thing, it has not done that. I've tried figuring out how it's supposed to work and everything. It just doesn't, to be honest. I'll be straight up honest with y'all. We're going to take this little piece here, place it to the side, hold it down. Do the same for the other side here, where we take this, they're both the same pieces or whatever. Place on both sides there. And then you just gotta hope it just sort of stays in place. Because next up, you have to basically sit down and sandwich it all back in together. Because this is Super Bdaman, and it just loves to do this whole sandwiching nonsense. Early DHB is like this as well. You're just having to like sandwich everything in together. But once you get that all sandwiched in nicely, you get to see the laser in there because the laser mechanism also just doesn't not work that great. And supposedly, I don't know, this part here does nothing, I've realized at this point. It just kind of just sits around and does nothing. And then you take a little spare lens piece that we had earlier, if you remember, and you just plop it in there and just have it sit nicely in there. Just so you can sit down, have it strap on in nicely, and you just kind of get to enjoy. See if we can have the laser focus in. Which I'm guessing it might not focus in, because to be straight up honest here, this thing just isn't that great. You can sort of see the laser in there. The idea is it's supposed to be very strongly powered laser. It just is not that strong of a powered laser. And that kind of just describes this whole build. This whole build is meh so far. I've tried so many things to like make it like enjoyable for me. It's not. I've had to sit down, clean corrosion, and deal with weird nonsense. And it's a barrel, which, I don't know. Weird build today. Weird build. Weird build. I'm just... It's whatever for me. It's just a whatever build. Pain in the butt. Took way too long. I know you can sit down and screw everything in. I'm not going to do that just now, because I'm going to take out that battery. That battery is completely pointless. Because as you see here, no matter what, that light just does not shine through. I might have put the lens in wrong, which we could try flipping it around. Let's see, try flipping the lens. Though I don't think it's wrong, because both sides are rounded and bubbled up a bit, so... Maybe I put it in the wrong way? I really don't know. This whole... Okay, no, I didn't put it in the wrong way. That it does just fit in nicely that top way around. And... Yeah, no, that laser still does not show up. Let's see if I can turn off some lights in this area. We'll see if we get to have the laser finally show up properly. So we turned off that one light there. So there's our little laser. It does not show up well in light at all, but it does actually work properly, as you see there. So super exciting there. It is super dim light, by the way. If you do want to replace the diode in there, it is actually very simple. It's just like a basic LED light. There is not an actual laser in there. It's just an LED. I don't think there's anything special to it. This auto-focusing feature right here does not work properly at all. It's a very pain in the butt process. And the laser connection thing does not work well either. But we're going to pause for a quick second here, because I'm going to go grab a Bdaman that actually probably work as a barrel with this thing. Because not only does this thing not connect to any Bdaman basically, because you need an accessory for it. Yep. As I'm dropping things just left and right today. But yeah, you cannot just stick onto a Bdaman. It actually needs another accessory to actually use the barrel. And I do not have the barrel accessory. So let's grab a different Bdaman that actually has the part on it that I can just twist onto it. So be back in just a second. Woohoo! And we are back for the final part of this Lasersight video. That has been an utter nightmare to just make. Just to show off the connection part. So I actually had grabbed Mr. Poseidon here, or Nautilus Poseidon, which is a cool little Bdaman here. Love him. The gimmick's awesome and everything. He has one of these little barrel adapters on it. So to basically use this whole gimmick, you take one of these. They made a little gimmick thing for the front one. So you can find one that actually has the front piece to it. You can do that. I do have a Bdaman with that. I just have not built him yet. And to be honest, I might do that after the fact, because why not? But all you have to do is take this here and turn it. Is it not? The heck? Okay, let's try this other one here. Okay. No, it does work. Yeah, I just need to put screws on pretty much. And there is our little barrel accessory, which is super exciting, because that means Nautilus can have a bunch of marbles in them. How many marbles? Let's find out. 1 marble. I probably should have screwed everything in, but after this, I'm just going to take out every little thing. See, that's... How many was that so far? So there's 1 marble inside him currently. That's what he holds in general. So there's the second one for him. It's still inside his body there. Third one, inside of the body. So here we go. Let's see how many this thing actually holds by itself. 1 marble. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it could hold 6 marbles in there. You see the last one popping up. And I see there, with a little Poseidon there, he can hold an extra 3. So you get actually a decent amount of marble shooting. So the whole concept with this guy is if you have the Lynx character, this little laser pointer can go inside Lynx's head, which has a whole little sight option. And it basically just gives you more of a barrel plus sight. To be honest, this works as a great barrel. Just straight up, just start shooting out marbles pretty much. And get that done. The issue is this guy is very slow at shooting. Sorry, I do not have any greater examples of this guy. But, super cool as a barrel. As a magazine type barrel or whatever. As a frontwards barrel, I really do not recommend. Unless you actually have that frontwards part that requires them to do that, then I'd recommend it. But as you see from this whole little fun video here, I do not have that whole thing. I thought it would include it in there. And if you're just looking for a barrel, if you find this one for cheap, go for it. If you're looking for a little magazine accessory, as you see, it even has an extender part to it, so you can have longer barrel. This is really great as a whole little magazine barrel type thing for just loading up marbles. As an actual frontwards piece, I do not recommend it, really. Unless you actually have that weird little piece right there, you'll be surprisingly disappointed to realize that it doesn't work as properly you'd think it does. And that laser sight function is super weak. Like, it very much doesn't work in proper lighting. Even if I go into a room with actual lighting and studio lighting, it will not show up at all, pretty much. But in sort of regular lighting, it still doesn't really show up at all. So, I will not recommend this thing. It is not an actual laser diode, by the way, in here. It is pretty much just an LED light shoved into a weird compartment. So, anyone who's actually wanting to fix this thing, you can stick a more powerful LED in there, and you might get a better result out of it. For a whole little build video, I spent way too much time on this. If you're buying this thing new, I don't recommend it. I get if you'd want to buy it new, but this whole little laser mechanic right here, you're going to have to sit down and clean that whole thing out. Even if it's used, you might have to do that, but I think at this point, used has a better chance of you not having to sit down and clean this whole entire laser thing. Because besides cleaning it out, you also have to bend the metal back into place and stuff like that. It's a giant pain. For a barrel, for a little magazine thing, go get it for that. If you're wanting to use it as an accuracy barrel, don't get it for that. Get it for reload speeds and faster shooting or whatever. More marbles, more speed, you know, that whole little thing. Less reload. Get it for that purpose. Do not get it for accuracy purposes. Nightmare for accuracy purposes. This whole little laser mechanic doesn't even turn off properly half of the time. Besides smacking it a bunch of times, that whole thing, I might have to bend the metal a bit more or whatever. It's a pain. Sorry for a negative video today, y'all. This thing just took way longer than I wanted it to take. So, thank y'all for watching, and I will see you all later.